What if the most famous meal in history wasn't at all what we've been taught to believe? Today we are diving into a really fascinating reinterpretation of the Last Supper, and it's all based on chapter 14, the Messianic Banquet, from the book series The Wars of Light and Darkness. The Last Supper. It's an image we all know, right? It's this cornerstone of Western culture, a picture of a solemn farewell. But what if that whole traditional story is wrong? Well, The Wars of Light and Darkness puts forward a pretty compelling case that the story we know is actually filled with puzzles, and they all point to a dramatically different truth. So to really understand this new perspective, we first have to dig into the mystery itself. The strange contradictions that are hiding in plain sight within that very familiar story.
When you really look closely at the Gospels, the pieces just don't quite fit. For starters, you've got conflicting dates for when the meal even happened. And then all these key elements of a Passover Seder. The lamb, the unleavened bread, the bitter herbs, they're just gone, not mentioned. And why were there only men there? It just raises this huge question: what was this meal really all about?
And the key to solving this whole puzzle, according to the Wars of Light and Darkness, is found in the ancient Dead Sea Scrolls. They reveal the secrets of this mysterious group known as the Essenes.
So, who were these guys, the Essenes? Well, they were a priestly Jewish sect that followed really ancient traditions, including a totally unique solar calendar and these sacred community meals. And these meals, they were absolutely central to their beliefs, all focused on ritual purity and atonement. And it's these meals that are so crucial to what we're talking about today.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this comparison. A Passover Seder is a family affair, right? But the Last Supper, with its male-only attendees and its focus on bread and wine for the remission of sins, it aligns so much more closely with an Essene sacral meal. It's almost a perfect match.
But the Essene connection does way more than just explain the type of meal they were having. It also solves one of the biggest head-scratchers in the Gospels, the conflicting timelines of that final week.
So, the source argues that Jesus was observing the Essene Passover on a Tuesday, according to their ancient solar calendar. The crucifixion then happened on Friday, which was the preparation day for the official temple Passover, which, get this, used a completely different lunar calendar, and suddenly, boom! The conflicting gospel accounts are totally harmonized. It all fits!
So, the timeline fits, the meal type fits, but there's another really critical piece to this puzzle. You see, Essene's sacred meals required a priest to co-officiate. The Gospels don't seem to mention one, but the Wars of Light and Darkness identifies a secret collaborator who was hiding in plain sight the whole time.
The Wars of Light and Darkness argues that this figure was John, the beloved disciple. As a secret follower and, crucially, a priest, he not only fulfilled the ritual requirement, but also provided the upper room, which was in Jerusalem's Essene quarter. Even his position right next to Jesus matches the exact seating arrangement for the Messiah and the priest that's described in the Dead Sea Scrolls. And this brings us to the absolute core argument of the Wars of Light and Darkness. The Last Supper wasn't just like an Essene meal. It was a very specific, preordained event with a truly world-changing purpose. You see, the Dead Sea Scrolls describe this unique event called the Messianic Banquet. Now, this was not a meal to remember something from the past. No, this was a pre-battle ritual designed to kick off the final apocalyptic war against the forces of darkness.
I mean, listen to this. This text right here from the Scrolls lays out the exact protocol for this banquet, where the Messiah of Israel would stretch out his hand to the bread, signaling the start of the final war.
So the crucial point is this: the entire meaning of the meal just completely shifts. According to the Wars of Light and Darkness, this wasn't a farewell dinner. It was a declaration of war. Jesus was inaugurating the Messianic Banquet to formally begin his final, decisive confrontation with the ruling powers that he called the Sons of Darkness.
When you see it through this lens, the Last Supper transforms from this passive, sad farewell into a strategic, deliberate act, the opening move in a prophesied cosmic battle. It really forces us to rethink everything we thought we knew about Jesus' final days, doesn't it? If you found this fascinating as I did, please like and subscribe for more videos like this. For more information, or to purchase the full volume of The Wars of Light and Darkness, you can press on the link in the description.